Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. Today I wanted to talk to you about the value in Work for Warriors or similar organizations. They are through several states. I don't know the number off the top of my head, probably 12, 15 different states. And I'll give you the list of the states that they're in here in a moment. Now, if you're looking for work or you're looking for a better job, there's a lot of value in being a veteran or a spouse of a veteran. And that's kind of what I wanted to dive into, was looking for better employment and bringing more income into your household. So with that, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. So Work for Warriors is what I'm going to just call them all. Most of them are adopted that name, Work for Warriors. The first piece is to understand that those organizations, the organization of Work for Warriors, is an institution that is for us, by us. That's an important distinction. It is primarily reservists, National Guard members, veterans who are employed in these organizations. And here's a very, very important part. They're not for profit. They're not an organization that is a private type of an organization. It is an organization that is part of the greater National Guard. So when you think of the National Guard, you have the NGB, which is the National Guard Bureau, that kind of is the umbrella over the entire U.S., right? Then you have each state has their own state National Guard. In each state that I'm going to mention here, there is a Work for Warriors program or something comparable. Now, I'm going to give you the list of them, and then I'm going to dive into why they're so important to utilize when you're looking for a new job or better job. So the states here are, and in no specific order, except for I'll start with California because that is the kind of starting point. This is the first Work for Warriors program was established in California. So you have California, Oregon, Washington, Nevada, Arizona, Hawaii, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Indiana, and Ohio. So those are the locations for the Work for Warriors. I did pull up the California and the Georgia locations have a nice kind of, I guess, overlay of where you can click on it and it could take you to whatever state you want. I'll put a link in the description or in the comments for you on this. So in today's world, what happens is when you're looking to find a job, there's kind of, I look at it kind of twofold. One, you have government jobs, whether it's state or federal or city, what have you. You have government jobs. Then you have everything else, right? If you're looking for a government type job, you're pretty much guaranteed a look. Somebody is going to review your resume. That's why most government jobs have the windows that they're open, right? This job announcement's open for 2 weeks and it closes. So with that, you do have that ability to be seen. It is vitally important that you hit all of the criteria to ensure that when they do look at your resume or application, that they see that you qualify for the things that they're looking for, okay? When you apply to a government job, that first threshold is basically just, do you meet the minimum qualifications for this position? So you want to make sure that you are implementing that. What we're all really good at is sharing all these great things that we did, but they might not be applicable to the job that you're applying for. They're great stories. They're great things that you should bring up and see if you can weave in to answers through an interview. But for your resume and trying to make sure that you qualify for the job, maybe not so much. So then what we got to look at here is the other side. Now the other side, applying to jobs that are just non-government, there's no guarantee that you're going to get looked at. And in my opinion, this is really the real strong point for Work for Warriors. On the government jobs, they're going to share some things that to bring it to your awareness, right? This organization's hiring and what have you. On the civilian side or the non-government jobs, This is really where Work for Warriors shines. And in my opinion, you need to understand what strong points they bring to the table, because it will absolutely help you if you know what you can leverage. It's all about leveraging relationships. So with Work for Warriors, what happens is, in today's world, you apply to a job, non-government job. First of all, no guaranteed look. No, there's no guarantee that the recruiter or hiring manager is going to even look at your application or resume. So what happens is you fill in all your information on the computer, you hit submit. Well, so did 299 other people. So now you have 300 people. It's important to understand the dynamics so you know what you can do to lever or shift or what have you along the way. So now you're one of 300 people that applied to this job. So what's on the other side of that submit button is a recruiter. Well, guess what? That recruiter does not have time to go through 300 applications, right? And think about it. That recruiter doesn't just have that one job that they're trying to fill. They might have 10, 15, 20, 25 different job openings that they're trying to manage. So multiply that 300 times 10 or 15 or 20 and what have you. It's a lot of applications. So some of these software systems, these ATS systems, the applicant tracking system, ATS, have the ability to rank and sort the applicants for any given job. So you have the job announcement. It's already in there. You can tell the system, hey, can you look at all the applications that are in, all the resumes or what have you, and rank and sort them highest, best to worst. So once that happens, now if they're only hiring for one position, how many do you think that they need to find that have the minimum qualifications met, right? So if they're ranked best to worst, maybe you might go through the top 30 for an example. So you're going to skim the top 30 resumes or applications just to give a quick eyes on. So let's say that there's 5 that there's something that just flagged on there that just doesn't make sense or whatever. So now you're left with 25. Now you got those 25 resumes. You're going to start making some phone calls. Do the quick introduction. Hey, we saw you applied. We're grateful for you. Thank you. Just wanted to ask you a couple clarifying questions. Great. Set you up for an interview. So they're going to do that with 25 people. Well, now let's say that out of those 25 people, only 20 actually answer the phone or call back or what have you. The other 5 got another job offer, or they moved on, or they don't care anymore. So now you have 20. So the 20 get moved on to, let's just say, all 20 make it to the interview portion. Bam, they make the interview. They go through it. Let's say they short stack that to 10 for a second interview. Then they're going to short that to 3, maybe top 3 for a final interview and selection. So what happens to the other 270 applicants? Well, you're going to get the flush email eventually, someday, when they fill that position. Once that position's filled and they close out that job requisition, you get the email that says, hey, thanks so much for applying. We really appreciate your desire to work for us. Please keep your eye on other jobs. We've moved forward on this one, or whatever it says. So again, this is where Work for Warriors comes in. Work for Warriors absolutely goes out and makes relationships with these organizations. They meet the recruiters or hiring managers, in some cases all the way up to the VP of Global Talent Acquisition. So at the highest levels in some cases. So they have these conversations, and basically the short conversation is, I have a whole pool of military veterans, reservists, National Guard members, spouses, dependents, all these dynamic people that you want to hire. I'd love to advertise your jobs on our job board, or some of them, to give some sort of a sampling of the jobs that you have. And I'd like to have people apply to your jobs. Now, here's the thing. I don't expect you to hire everybody I send you. That would be ridiculous. I don't even expect you to interview everybody that I send you, because what if they don't meet the criteria, right? What if somehow they slip through and they're missing something? It would be a waste of time to require that organization to interview you. But here's where the value is. What I do expect, Company X, is that you actually review the application or resume or whatever is being sent we get a eyes on, and we have a conversation, right? Either they're going to move forward in the process or they're not, and this is why. Now, all of a sudden, you are now guaranteed a look, and that is so valuable in today's market. So you get a guaranteed look with that organization, and guess what? If you're meeting the minimum criteria and your resume looks solid, you probably are going to move forward to an interview. So with that, making sure that your resume is dialed in, you're applying to that job. Now, even if they rank and sort all of the applicants and you're number 47, you're going to get floated up and get that guaranteed look. Now, that's the biggest value add that I see. Now, the second piece, besides awareness, right? Just knowing what's out there, having some sort of an idea, and getting that guaranteed look are two huge components of Work for Warriors. Now, the biggest tip, I'll leave you with this. The biggest tip that I can give you with regard to Work for Warriors is, as you are viewing the different job opportunities that they are advertising, whether with their business partners, whether it's through their website directly or social media or an email that you receive talking about some different opportunities in your area, don't hyper focus on the jobs that you see. It's a sampling of the jobs offered by the employers that are partnered with Work for Warriors. So in other words, don't hyper focus on the job. Instead, shift your focus to the company, because that, my friend, is where the relationship lies. Which means if you do it right, you're seeing different companies that are being represented. Do your own due diligence. Go onto that company's website and ensure that you get a very good look at every single job opportunity that they have. Work for Warriors doesn't have the capacity or manpower at this point to go through and copy and paste every single job opportunity that every single employer has. So it's a sampling that you're going to see. Take it upon yourself. If it's a company that you might be interested in, look on their website, see what they have offered. If you see something that you like, then apply to it. And make sure that you inform the Work for Warriors representatives that you applied to Company X for job Y. Forward them your confirmation email from your application or what have you, so that way they can reach out to their contacts and ensure that you get that look. With that, we'll conclude it there. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.